where we're at, TNT. They come up with the new signs every year, Richo.
They do.
Over to you to interpret them.
What's that mean, Daisy? You're probably better at this than me.
Come back to you.
You blow it up, blow stuff up.
It's out
You
in
do
full.
with TNT.
And there's
G'day everyone and welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. Beside me I have Eggy, who is also known as Woo Girl.
What's going on, everyone?
And then we've got Early Crow Moisty. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's going on, boys?
I'm very well. I'm happy here in a nice 32 degrees in Melbourne. How about you guys?
Yeah,
No, I
good,
think it's
good.
like 44 over here in Thailand. Sitting in aircon at the moment on 16. It's delicious.
That's the feels like temperature. It's killing us. Nah, it's good. It's been great. How is sunny Melbourne going?
It's good. It's been really good. Yeah, been very warm weekend. It's been good. Been hiding out in the air
Very
conditioning and going to footy games and hanging out in the park and that. Yeah,
Fantastic, mate.
Beautiful.
That's great to hear.
very well.
All right. Well, tonight we're going to go through opening round, or the massive two games that we had.
The two-game
the
opening
Havoc
round that needs to finish next year, surely.
Definitely. The havoc that Alfred caused, and then we're going to do a bit of a dive into round one. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already, please don't forget to follow our socials. The links will be in the chat below.
They are. They're in the description below. Feel free to check out our
They're
shop as
there.
well.
Yeah, get in there. Deggy's been hard at work with some new designs, I think.
Yeah,
Got a few Dacos ones in there.
Oh, I haven't turned them into shirts yet. I didn't think they were shirt worthy, but I just thought make some artwork, see if we can get around it a little bit. Try some new things.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. That's what the
Beautiful.
year is. Try different things, see how we go.
Yes. Beautiful. But yeah, but before we forget, tipping, if you haven't joined yet, it's not too late. With weekly prizes jackpotting each week, we got $40 up for grabs this week, at the end of this week, if you get all tips right. And we're only those two games played, so I know I only got 1 out of 2. So you're still in for a chance to win it if you can peg back
Yeah,
those two.
I'm 1 out of 2 as well. I don't know if anyone who's got 2 out of 2. I didn't check our league, but
Yeah, I
there's
think
gotta be someone.
there was 7. There was 7, but there was only actually it might have been 17. But there's 53 people in the league, so yeah, be sure to check it out.
Get in there.
That link's also in the bottom.
Good number.
First prize $250, second prize $100, and third gets $50. But plus we are jackpotting the $20 each week.
Plus our weekly, that's the big one. If you can get through the whole season and pick it up last round,
Yes,
I mean, delicious.
That's huge.
that is huge.
Absolutely.
And welcome George Speechley and Zoe into chat. Thanks for dropping by.
What's going on,
Welcome,
guys?
Zoe said she had to wake up for this. That's good. She must have set the alarm. Thanks for that.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
Zoe.
you,
It's
Zoe.
currently 3 o'clock in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
it's only
here
3
in
o'clock
Bangkok.
over here. We're just about ready to go out. Just get the show in before we go out, ready to go.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it. So, opening round, it was crazy leading up to it with all this Alfred talk and what was happening. And as it was, we had 2 games postponed,
We did.
with the Gold Coast and the Essendon game coming after round 24 now.
Oh, it is it?
No. I looked at it's during. They must be going to play 2 during that round. So they're both
Oh, really?
scheduled to happen in round 24. So they must play Wednesday or Thursday the week before, and then maybe play Tuesday or Wednesday the week after. They're all
Oh, wow.
scheduled for round 24 on the app. I don't know if that means
that
they're
the
going to
same
play
as-
them in round 24 or...
Is that the same as Brisbane Geelong? Because I thought, yeah, that one was.
No,
definitely-
Brisbane
Oh,
Geelong's
yeah.
gone to their bye. Instead of their bye,
Yep.
that was round 3, I think. Their one's just going to slot in there. But yeah, so Essendon play 2 games and Gold Coast play 2 games in round 24.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they're in finals contention and what that's going to do to their prep.
Yes, it will. Yes.
That's it, man. They might need 2 wins to get in, and they can get 2 wins in the last week.
Yeah, that's right. And
But
it'll leave
at what
those sort of
cost?
fight for a
At-
position.
At what cost, though?
Well,
suppose
yeah.
Oh,
they
they
do-
do
they do
play
get the
2
week
games
off,
in a
though.
week.
Yeah, I suppose they do get the week off still. But thanks, Brody, for being the alarm for Zoe to make sure she made the show. And welcome.
Beautiful.
Great work. Great work, Brody. Love it. Love it. All right, well, we'll get into the game. So, what was the first game? Sydney Hawthorn.
Yes.
That was a
And this
cracking
was
game.
a stellar game.
It was a cracking
Cracking
game.
game.
Yes, I watched the first 3 quarters. I think I fell asleep in the last quarter, but I woke up to the good score.
Yeah,
Good score line.
so
Yeah.
19.
No, we got to we found a pub locally after about quarter time to watch it here, and it was an electric game.
It was great. And really, I like what both teams were doing. I mean, we know that the game's usually going to be faster and harder at the start, the first sort of 3-4 rounds of the season. They usually are. But both teams look like they got to work really, really hard on the off season. The addition of Battle and Barras for Hawthorn, I think, is fantastic.
Yes, very well.
Yeah, freed up Sicily a lot. They could sort of play a floating.
And then he
Yes.
went and went forward in the third quarter as well and kicked one or two.
He did.
Yeah, and the
He
other
did.
one, McCartan going forward for Sydney, that paid off dividends too.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks very good up forward. I like it.
But it just
I like it
weakens
a lot.
Sydney's already weak defence. They had a weak defence, and now they've lost their best defender.
Yeah,
the forward
correct.
line.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna try and do. They're gonna probably struggle in that part of the ground this year again. But Will Day
Michael
for
looks
Hawthorn. Sorry?
Yeah, great day for Hawthorn winning their first game and getting all the naysayers who thought it was hype and they couldn't get it going. They've got it going nice and early. So
And I think
Definitely.
Taz was going to say something about Will Day. Had a good game.
Yeah, Will Day, big standout. There was massive raps on him pre-season. I think people were a little bit hesitant. But Moist has been real confident on him all pre-season.
Yep.
If you haven't got him in your classic Supercoach team, I think that performance is going to be a regular occurrence for him.
Yes.
and he last year they come good when he come back. He's a real engine to that team. They play good football when he's in there.
Definitely. Question, is this something that Hawthorn can continue throughout the year?
Well, they're young. It's just a matter of fitness. But old people do that too, as we'll get into the next game.
Yes, they do.
Just depends whether they can keep it running up. But they're another year fitter. They did die off the last 4 or 5 games the end of last year, but they're another season fitter. I think they go the whole way. Not the whole way, but I reckon they push hard deep into September.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
They did look
After
very
that
good.
performance. They really did, Eggy. They really did. All right. Anything more on that game from you two? Any standouts? or
Only
anything?
that Sydney were missing.
Warner.
They were missing Hanbury. Well, no, Warner was there.
Oh, was he? What was the other one? Who was-
Goulden. So they were missing.
Yeah,
Goulden.
Golden. That's what I was thinking of.
and-
My bad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. So it was mainly just Goulden, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So they were pretty much
Yep.
full strength today. But those two teams are going to bat deep, I think. It was a
Yeah, I
very
think
good
so
crack
too.
at the start of the season.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting with Warpel going down for, I think, 5 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll give Day a bit more responsibility in there as well.
Malcolm Marty, he's put YNWA and Hawks double. So who's his soccer team? What was that stand for? You remember?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yes, it was a
Liverpool,
good
you'll
double.
never walk alone.
I was hoping
Oh,
for a
well,
double
then
too.
Then we get into the other game where we had to buy international travels pass to watch this, Tassie. It cost us
Oh.
$24 for the week just so we can watch a bit of AFL because none of the pubs, it was too early over here and they're all showing Premier League, I think, which really upset us.
It's the prime sport over here. That's why. So we went to one of the pubs. They had all the sports channels. You literally flicked through every single channel. No AFL.
Did
Oh,
they
missed the
did they have NRL on at all?
No.
Oh, that's
No,
good.
no, it was all
That's good.
soccer.
That's good. That's good for the bragging rights. And I don't want anyone come saying at least that they played the NRL in Thailand.
No,
No,
they
they
had
did play the
snooker.
AFL, but it just wasn't, because the Premier League, it was prime Premier League time. They had all the Premier League on, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, Premier League's huge over here. It's actually bigger than I thought it would be, to be honest. But so that was it cost $24, so we could screen share to the
We've
TV
got
to watch
next
it. So
week in
Sorry.
Yeah, we've got next week in Koh Samui, so we can. We've got a full week of football. We can watch it any time now.
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, exactly. So it's worth it. It'll be worth it, unless they show it over there.
Yeah, that's it. We'll just go to a pub. It's on every day.
That's right.
Now,
That's right.
the next game where GWS made Collingwood look old and slow. I've been saying this all
they did.
pre-season.
You
They're
have been
too
saying it all
old. They're too
pre-season.
slow. GWS just showed you how to beat Collingwood. Just run them in the ground. They
Yep.
cannot compete.
And the defense
It was-
just get the ball off the back line. Like they just kept intercepting it.
Yep. Sam Taylor
Well,
gobbled
that
up
was-
everything.
Oh, he did.
That was the big problem I said with Collingwood, this new look forward line, they don't know how to play like that. They don't know how to kick it to their big talls. They're used to having smalls. They're used to lead. Now the big talls want it tall and that. And they were just getting rebounded against way too easy and being made to run.
That was like even at I think it was half time or quarter time. It was still it was probably half time. It was still 20 points of difference, but I think they Collingwood still had more shots on goal. It wasn't that they kicked behind; they kicked a lot of out on the fulls as well too. So that really hurt them. And then they had good pressure in the third quarter, getting it in forward, but they just couldn't put it on the scoreboard. Just couldn't get it between the
that's
sticks.
right.
Yeah, I think
And
it
then
was
they ran
0
out of
goals
energy and-
4 before GWS kicked a goal, and then at 3/4 time they were done.
Yeah, they were done. Yep. Like even
They were
I think the biggest
Nick
biggest
Dacos needed
thing
the
from
people
this
juice.
game. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I think the biggest story from this game is Dacos should have been subbed, not Hoskin Elliott.
Yeah, I reckon too. But yeah.
Subbed or not played.
Yeah.
Well, that's you.
Well, I think he should have played.
But talk about this later because that's the controversial call coming up later. The new segment.
all right. But no, Giants look good coming off that half back line. There was a little bit of the orange tsunami floating through. Jack Buckley and Sam Taylor have to be the two best key defensive duos in the league at the moment, I feel. I know it's only early, but they look so good back there.
And the $17 million man that no one had heard on that I kept saying was a good football player that no one knew who was. He just stood up, showed why he was getting off for a touch of the corn.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Tom Green comes out. And this is the other thing. Tom Green wasn't playing. Briggs went down real early. And they're missing someone else.
Hogan wasn't playing, and Hogan wasn't playing, and they were dropping everything that went forward. Hogan would have kicked 10 in this game.
And
the service he was getting.
I think, was it Christian Briggs as well? He went down in the first quarter, and he was dominating in the ruck. The midfielders could not get the ball out of the ruck first quarter when he was in.
Do you think it's actually we'll come to that
Hogan
later.
played this game. I think they dropped about 5 or 6 sitters that Hogan gobbles up. So I think Collingwood were very lucky Hogan wasn't playing, and very lucky Briggs went down earlier. This could have been a bigger disaster for him.
Yeah, not a good start for the Pies, but look, let's see what can happen with the games coming forward. Any standouts for you guys?
No, well, I think not Toby. Toby McGuire. Toby Green? I think he got a couple of fines off that game too. But his game was pretty outstanding too. The way he ran down Tim Membry, it was there.
He looked like he's into back into a bit of good football because he had a pretty average season last year, but he looked like he was pretty good that game.
He was doing the leadership things. He was tackling in defence. He was smothering. He was doing it all. If you haven't seen that tackle on Tim Membry, making the classic Nick Riewoldt error, then make sure you check out our Instagram story.
Classic St Kilda. Sorry, Zoe, but classic St Kilda player.
I wasn't going to go down that path, but yep. Any standouts for you, Todd, in that game?
Just the 17 million. I forgot his name. I've hyped him up all year. There's
Callahan.
Callahan. Is it
Callahan? That's it.
Callahan.
Callahan was my boy. He was he's probably clearly BOG. 3 goals. He had 33 touches or something, and he looked electric out of the middle. He was running. He was dashing. He was linking up. He was doing everything Nick Dacos should have been doing if he was fit.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say I was really impressed with Toby Bedford. His lockdown role on Dacos actually made Dacos panic with the ball because he was expected to get hit all the time.
Yep.
But then when Dacos was not needing to be tagged anymore, Bedford actually got off the leash a bit and set up 2 or 3 goals in quick succession.
Yeah, he just exploded, didn't he? I don't have to worry about you anymore. I'm going to go do my own thing.
Yep. So that was really good. That was kind of my standout.
And just to catch up on chat, Artie put that's why it's the world's game, boys, referring to the Premier League. And as always, I'm going back to bed. F this.
Yeah. You got rid of him, Joey. It's fine. You got rid of him.
Yep. But yeah, that's the wrap for opening round. Now,
it wasn't very exciting, was it? We had a few cancellations, and I reckon scrap it next year. Just play round 1. If you want to have those games, still have those games. Have games up north, games south. Just not have a game in Victoria if you have to, but make them all play round 1.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think every team needs to play for the first round of the season. It's just the way it should be.
Yeah, and I think.
What do you guys think in chat?
Well, I think also like the first game's always been Richmond versus Carlton, and I feel like it's a bit. It's not the opening game anymore. It doesn't feel
I don't mind.
Significant.
I don't mind what the opening game is as long as it's still round one. Like
And everyone's
round
playing.
one's the thing that gets me. Like I said this last year, if your team's not playing, like you guys, Aggie's team played this week, Cuzzy, you all didn't. So you experienced it again this year. You feel a bit let down with the opening season because your team's not playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
We
still
got to
watch
wait that
football,
extra
but-
week.
Yeah. And it's not
So-
a big a spectacle as I think. It's just the hardcore fans are still going because they want to see football. They're going to sell out those games whether they have them in round one. Saying, they're a sellout, it's a success. They'll sell out in round one, those games.
Yeah.
Because it's Collingwood up there. It's Carlton up there. They're going to sell those grounds anyway. There's only 10,
exactly.
20,000 people going. You'll sell them in round one. You'll sell them in round 23 when that team can't make finals.
Well, I think they're going to have to do it differently when Tassie come into the competition. Well,
They're gonna have to.
Not next year. Is it next year or the year after? Year after, I think.
28, a year
Yeah.
after.
28. So they're going to have to do it different. Because they're going to have a bye every round. That's just the way it's going to have to be. So
Yeah, so they're going
it'll be
to have
interesting
to
to
sneak
see.
another team in, I think, because I'm not liking the bye every round.
No, or either sneak a team in or fold a team, but I don't know who they fold.
You won't fold a team now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put one in. They just would have transferred one to Tassie.
Yeah.
Or they do a
Maybe
merger.
they talk of bringing in another one, but let's see.
I think Northern
they'll get
Crocs.
another one in.
I've been saying for years, Northern Crocs would be perfect. Northern Territory and far north Queensland.
Yep.
So Cairns, Darwin, those sort of areas. But
It's
look,
just a
we'll,
wild
But
card.
I think we all agree that opening round just doesn't work. Just scrap it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's look at the round that does matter. That's round one, where every team is
Round one.
playing.
Yes, Richmond beat
Every
Carlton
team's
playing
playing.
on Thursday, and I think
Cannot wait.
one of the Camberelli twins is debuting this game too.
Yep,
So
Lucas
it-
Camberelli. I picked that. I picked that pretty early. I feel, and everyone was like, "No, you probably won't hold it," or someone was. I can't remember. But his job security is actually pretty high.
Yep. Laylaw's back for round one too. They reckon he'll be in.
Oh wow!
The number one pick. Number one
Wow.
pick will be in round one. We all thought he wasn't going to make it. He's going to be there round one with another 2 or 3 from Richmond first gamers.
So
Yeah,
They're going to have
defender.
2 or
I got a few
4 or 5, I think.
few players are changing me super coach this week then.
Yeah, I was shocked
Absolutely.
too. I've seen it today that Laylaw's expected to play round one. So if he
That's
gets
unreal.
picked,
There's
it's going to be a massive turnaround because everyone had him till round 4 out.
Yeah.
Artie's put Carlton
that's
will
huge.
lose round one versus Richmond. I don't know
No
about
chance.
I don't see that happening.
Ah.
We're doing tips
Not
as
at all.
well. I'm tipping Carlton. Carlton's going to win this game. I don't think they can lose to Richmond.
I'm thinking Carlton too.
Yeah, I don't see Richmond winning a game this year.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It looks bad for them how they got destroyed by Collingwood and then how Collingwood got destroyed by GWS. So it could be a few
Exactly.
200 games this year against them maybe.
Potentially, yeah. Well, Carlton won't have Curnow, but Sam Walsh is expected to play as well. And if Richmond are going to be as bad as what we think, it's probably not a bad game for him to come back into and just sort of, run the legs, sub him out early.
And then the
Oh.
other thing is you don't want to give Richmond confidence early, though, either.
No,
If
that's
those
correct.
young kids get up and about, they might overrun the injured Blues if you bring them all back.
They're not that injured. You keep saying
They're
that. That was
injured.
last year. All right, moving on. Friday night, Hawthorn Essendon. This has the
Well-
potential to be an absolute cracker.
it does. It does.
I don't think it will be, though. I
The
think
Hawks
this is
too
going to be a blowout. Yes,
Yeah,
I think this
it's
is
gonna
going
be
to
a
be a
murder from
massive
Hawthorn.
blowout. Yeah. I think Hawks by at least 50.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eggy?
I'm leaning towards the Hawks too. I like watching them play. Yeah, they're exciting to play, exciting to watch actually. But I do want to see my boy Kako. I'm interested to see how he goes.
I was about
Yeah,
to say
wear your
that
Wacko
don't be
Kako
trying to
shirt.
boot Kako for Essendon. I don't know if Hawthorn's going to run with one, though.
I don't think so. They look
Because
too
they
good
didn't have a
together.
debutant this week, so
Nah,
I don't think the side will change too much.
I don't think so either.
I think Look, Essendon always do a lot of talk in the off season. They're always like, "Yeah, now's the time we need to step up. We've got another season under our belt." Blah blah blah. They need to start showing signs. The last couple of years, they've started the seasons really strong, and then they've just tapered off, or not tapered
Well,
off.
I
They've
can
actually
tell
fallen
you
off.
haven't been. Can tell you haven't been following the Essendon bandwagon because they are now officially in a rebuild, Tizzy. They've come
Oh,
out and said
really?
they need to rebuild. Been saying that all off season. Rebuild's underway.
No, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay.
Rebuild that edge.
Mini rebuild, I think they called it.
So is that to cut the expectations back and mean that they will not make the eight?
Yeah,
That's
don't
how I
know,
read
but
that.
they've called for a mini rebuild.
Hmm. Well, I can already imagine a few players that won't be there next year. Peter Wright being one of them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he's
okay,
injured at
that's
the
fair.
moment, isn't he?
Well, he is, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, if that's the attitude that Essendon are going to have, well, Phil Hawks, yeah, should win this quite easily.
Sorry, we cut you off
Yeah.
there, Eggy. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say anything. No. I was
No.
I think there's a slight delay because of the Wi-Fi we're
Oh,
using.
So
All
yeah,
right, let's keep
moving on
moving
to Geelong v Freo. This should be a good game with Geelong at home.
This will be a cracker. I think this will be game of the round.
This is
Oh,
going
I
to
don't know about that.
be
I'm thinking the next one will be, but anyway.
But we'll get to the
Geelong
next one. But
Fremantle.
I think Freo are going to be two. Oh, but down there, I think this is a genuine coin flip. I'm
It
gonna
is.
side with Freo, but I think Geelong could maybe get it.
I've gone to the home team Geelong. I think it's hard for the Freo to travel and the performance they put up against the Indigenous. I'm still leaning towards Geelong. So.
I'm going to go Freo because I feel like they started to travel better towards the end of last year.
Yep.
And I think they beat Geelong down there last year from memory. I think their midfield's better than Geelong's, and I think their forward line is better than Geelong's defence. I know that's a big call, but their forward line is looking very, very dangerous. So I'm gonna go to Freo in a close one.
Yep, I'm on Freo too.
And I think Jackson Sol Ruck against Sam DeConey. I think Sam DeConey will get destroyed.
There'll be chance for this game. I don't feel like there will be any.
No.
I don't think these
maybe.
two. I think these two are pretty settled.
Has Nevitt played a game before for Geelong?
Not sure.
He might be
Artie's
the
got
debut.
Freo by 50 points.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
no, Artie, I feel you, mate.
That's just
I feel you.
unhoping.
Bit of Geelong hate.
Absolutely. Every week.
Every day.
Yeah, I'll get a random message from him. Have you seen what's happened to that scum? All right. Oh, God. All right, let's keep moving on. So, Sydney-Brisbane.
This is the grand
game.
final rematch,
Yep.
and I reckon this will be the game of the round, especially it being in Sydney. And I hope Brisbane turn up. I know Sydney will be on the bounce back after last week, but
Well,
I'm not sure why it's on a Saturday at 4:15 when Collingwood put Adelaide on at Saturday at 7:35. I reckon they should have switched that, and this is more a prime time game that I think we watch.
yeah, had the buck off. Well, they've also got North and Bulldogs on that slot as well.
Oh, the day.
The 7-10. So yeah, I think they could have swapped those ones around as well.
Yep.
But this is the problem I say every year with opening rounds. Sydney's had a hit out. They're fitter. They want a bit of reference. Brisbane's going to come in cold. Should have been playing last week. Got ready. Didn't play. Now they're going to come in cold. And we normally see the teams after the bye not get it done. So this has always been the problem with opening round. Sydney's had an extra game. Got their match fitness up. They'll come in, and I think they'll annihilate Brisbane here.
Yep.
I think Brisbane will still win.
I think Sydney win.
Yeah. Sydney because
Very
they got
nice.
match fitness.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
they
that's
got
fair.
a point to prove after they went down to Hawthorn last week. But who knows? They could. Yeah. I think this is the game that Collingwood and Brisbane had last year, where they're both coming in with two losses. I think actually Brisbane had 2 losses. Collingwood had 3. This is what got them the win going up against. So I reckon they're a bit premature on this round 1 game, but see how it goes. See if they got that
Yeah,
or not.
Also, the stats say that the premiers from the previous year usually lose the first 2 or 3 games
Yep.
the following year. So
Well, they can't both lose the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, they can't. Unless we get a
Hey?
draw. Should we put money on it now?
No, the Premier from last year
Oh, the Premier.
loses the first 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
Sydney
I'm
get
gonna-
it done.
I'm going to tip Brisbane to break it. We'll see how we go.
Break out.
All right, then we got Battle of the Prison Bars, Pies and
Prison.
Port.
Yeah, this is Collingwood's biggest, well, not biggest test, but it's really just to show where they're standing, because they were pretty woeful yesterday, and Port Adelaide could get the jump on them here.
And
They
this is
could.
what I
haven't heard
said.
any-
Go.
Sorry, Todd.
Yeah, this is what I said too. They got the toughest run in the league coming into this season. They're underdone. They're old. I think Port Adelaide get this one done.
I do think Port will win, even without Butters. I think
And
Rosie's
Rosie?
okay
You
after
think
that
Rosie's
scare.
okay?
I've heard he's okay after the scare, but I still think they get the job done against Collingwood, mainly after the performance they put up on the weekend.
Yep.
The Pies could also come out and completely change. I
Me
just
too.
think it's
Well,
on-
Yeah.
I think they got Dan Houston comes in, and it's against his old team, so he's gonna lift a bit. But yeah, it all depends on how bad Nick Dacos is.
They've got to lift huge, not a bit. They
Yeah, they're
need
gonna
like a 40-point turnaround on a team that was better than the team they played last year.
Yeah,
So if Port will jump them early, we know Port goes to games early.
Well, Port
now,
were
just
the ones
on
that
that
jumped Sydney
Vaughan
last
Brent-
year. Were the first ones to beat Sydney last year, and they got the 50-point lead on them by the first quarter.
That's it.
yeah, exactly.
Going back
I
to
think
that,
the part-
Butters, how stupid is that Horn Francis tackle though in a inter-club practice match? That's just why do it?
You don't drop your hips in the interclub match.
No.
You do not drop.
And you've just
and
you put this bloke in cotton wool all pre-season to get him to the football, and then one of your teammates does that to him. It's just anyway. Back, sorry, Tassie, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the only sort of thing I can see is Port Adelaide's defence is their weakest part of the ground. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Membry, McStay, and Myercheck kick a few goals between the three of them now that they've had one solid run together.
Yep.
I think they'll work on that during the week and try and take advantage.
The other thing we get out of this too is Port's a running side as well. So it's not getting any easier for Collingwood. They're going to have to chase this game as well. So the fitness is going to I just don't see him doing it again. If Dacos was that crampy, you had Dacos, you had Hill, you had who went off on the sub? It was Myercheck.
Hoskin Elliott.
Oh, Will Hoskin Elliott. He was cramping too. They were all badly cramping halfway through the third quarter. And it's not going to get easier. They're going to have to probably run just as hard this week.
That's a question on the fitness staff.
Yeah. Or
Has to be.
Or had they just overdone it in their training leading up to this game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't know. But all right, moving on. Bulldogs and North. I actually think North are in with a shot to win this game.
Yeah, I'm on the fence too. I'm waiting to see the teams come through.
Well, so far Bulldogs got Bontempelli, Ugle-Hagan, Treloar, Waitman, and I think there's one other all out. There's 6 of the best, probably 12 players in their side out of the game, and North's coming in full strength.
And Norton
Jones.
went out. Norton went out with a bit of. Well, he finished the game early too with a bit in the preseason too, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think
he's out.
Norton's out as well. Yeah.
And so is Jones, their fullback.
And Jones. So that's 8 players and key position players running through their core centre that are out. I can't see how North lose this.
It'll be
I'm
a
a
good
North
starter for
supporter,
North if they can get up.
Yeah, it'd be a great start to get up with it.
But you don't know what Bulldogs are going to turn up. This is the question we've had on them for the last 2-3 years. Well, since we started the show, you just don't know which one of them is going to turn up for the day.
And they could have a young list waiting too, because we know it's hard to break in. So they've got plenty of talent trying to prove to break into that side as well. So
We saw a few glimpses of Garcia last year, who looked fantastic when he came in. He just couldn't hold his spot.
Yeah, you got Sanders. He'll get a crack in the middle now.
Yep.
He's been
Liberal
begging
go
for
to
a crack
another level.
for years. Libba went to another level in the Pracky match, so he'll have to stand up.
Yep.
So it'll be good
Definitely.
to see. I'm excited.
It should be a good game.
Be a great game.
Should be a good game. So, who are you tipping in this one, Lee? I know you want to wait to the teams, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence. I can't pick. So, I could say Bulldogs today, but tomorrow I'll probably go North Melbourne. So I'll wait
Yeah,
to see
that's
the teams.
no, that's fair, mate. That's fair. Todd, no point asking you because I know you're North.
No, we're on North, mate.
Beautiful. After that, starting the games off on Sunday at 12:35, so it's a bit earlier than normal. We've got Adelaide and St Kilda over in Adelaide.
We can tell why that game's nice and early.
Why's
Ain't
that?
no one
No one's
tuning
going to
into
watch
that.
it.
No, I thought it was getting warmer over there, so bring it up early. But it's been set months in advance.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I don't know.
think
It depends as well. I hope St Kilda play a different style of football. We say this every year. If they attack, they look good. But I think Crows get to jump on them early.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. And I think they've still got a few out injured, don't they, St Kilda?
they do.
Yes.
They do. So they're not going to have King or anyone. So I think Adelaide are going to have a point to prove this year as well. So they're going to be tough. They were tough to beat last year. I think they were too strong for the Saints. What have we got after that? We've got Melbourne and the Giants at
GWS.
3:20.
Yeah, well, after they put their performance in the weekend, I think they look good. But yeah, Melbourne's still the what if. We don't know what team's going to turn up.
Well, that's it. We don't know what's happening at Melbourne. Are they bound together? Are they ready to shine like that flag year? If they get everything going, they've still got the players to do it like that flag year. But it's going to be a good test for them. And GWS are up and about, though, after that win.
Yes, they are. As Zoe's
It should
actually
be a
put
cracking game.
many out injured. We have no hope. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not good signs.
No, it's not. But it's facts, unfortunately. I'm on the fence with this game. I
Yes.
think. Again, it depends on which Melbourne turns up, but you look at their list and they've got a strong list now, and it looks like Johnson is going to be able to help Fritsch up forward. That mid-season recruit they had last year looks like a Nathan Jones from Timu, but he plays as a full forward. He actually looked real good in the Pracky game, so hopefully he gets a good run.
Hopefully they can finally find their forward because that's been their biggest issue. They never get a forward going.
Exactly. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb and choose Melbourne to beat the Giants.
Oh,
I'm on GWS.
yeah, I think I'm on GWS too, even with all their injuries.
Beautiful. Last but not least, a twilight game, 6:10 on a Sunday. Now, there's going to be a few of these this year.
Yes,
Which
beautiful.
I think is
I like
great.
them.
Me too.
This
I've
is
been
why
saying
part of the
these games
reason.
are the ones we need because what else do you do on a Sunday night?
Well, normally you'd watch TNT footy, but that's why we moved to a Monday.
That's why we're going to a better spot.
So we've got here West Coast and Gold Coast, so the Battle of the Coasts.
Yes, well, I'm loving to look at this game because we know how well Gold Coast travelled last year, so we're hoping to see if they've fixed that. And West Coast are pretty good at home, and they're looking good, like in patches last year, and we'll hopefully see how they got it put together.
Yeah, I still think
agree
Gold
with
Coast
everything.
get this, but they're moz in travelling. They can't do that again this season, can they?
Well, we all tipped Gold Coast against West Coast over there last year, and Gold Coast got done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a real big point to prove about being on the road, so I think they're going to be better this year.
Beautiful. Give me a second. Just going to turn the light on. Getting a bit darker than usual.
The
sun's going down.
From memory as well, they were reviewing absolutely everything that they were doing whilst travelling.
Yeah, they couldn't find anything either.
Mm.
They didn't know it's a big mystery too because other teams can travel real well, but they just couldn't get anything done.
That's right. So it's going to be interesting, but hopefully Gold Coast can hit the ground running, especially on a Sunday night.
We need them to make finals eventually, or they might be getting kicked out of the league.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe that's the team.
Also, Artie's referring to the game before. He's got D's will win easily against GWS.
Ooh.
I don't know about easily, but
I still don't have
see.
GWS in top 8, so that's,
and you've got Collingwood finishing top 4, so it's got me.
Do I? I don't think. No, I don't think I had Pies top 4.
Oh, didn't you? No,
I don't know
how anyone has GWS out of the 8 now.
Yeah, they look good
after that performance.
But
it's round one.
It's only on one performance. We'll like to see them go
see how they go.
else, yeah.
Is Todd doing the early crow?
Well, I did an early play with Collingwood, and it's starting to come true already. We'll see how they go this week.
It's looking to come
Um,
into play.
I went 0-7. We're 0-1 so far, so I'm a seventh of the way there.
I'm
This is
hoping it was
true.
just the heat and they couldn't handle it. Also, I'm tipping West Coast. I'm jumping on the West Coast train.
West Coast bandwagon.
Ooh, I
Yep.
like it. I like it. All right. We're up to the new segment.
We are indeed.
Controversial call.
New segment. What do we got? This is me.
I told you the Wi-Fi's bad.
it's so
Yeah, I didn't hear you then. You cut right out. So what are we up to? I don't have mine here because I'm on a phone.
That's all right. Controversial call. We're up to you. You controversial.
Controversial call. Oh, I've got one for you here, boys. Dacos. Should he be left out of the team next week because effectively they were playing 17-man football from three? We always say a three-quarter Dacos is better than a no Dacos, but was it really better?
Nah.
My controversial call. I reckon we give him a week off till his fitness gets better.
Well,
I
hoping
think
to
it's
see
too good to leave out.
Was it definitely the pickle? Was it definitely
The
cramps?
pickle juice, I reckon,
Or was it definitely the cramps?
didn't get him up and around.
Well, is
Well,
it more to it
we'll
than
have to
just
see, because if he puts in another performance like that, you've got to think he's underdone.
yeah, or either that or if it comes out that he's actually got an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the other thing.
Yeah.
He could have very easily got an injury from cramping up like that.
Yeah.
Late in the game, and they made that sub. He should have been subbed off, and effectively they were playing 17-man in that last quarter.
Or even just on the bench.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't cramping up that late into the game. Like, it was halfway through the third quarter, if not earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's
So,
it. End of second, start of third, he was down cramping.
Yeah, so they should have subbed him then. But
That's what
I
they
think it was
said.
too good to leave out.
But you could argue if it was in the fourth, yes, like GWS started cramping up in the fourth, that's just body. But halfway through three-quarters of the way through the second and into the third, that's too early to be cramping up for a professional.
Actually, you know what?
I agree.
I'd like to see him come in as a sub.
My
Ooh.
controversial, leave him out next week. Maybe sub him. Maybe bring him in as super sub.
Yeah.
Good call.
That'd be very impactful if they
Wouldn't
comes
you
in
rather
later.
start him though, so you can sub him out if he cramps?
Yeah, no, you would, you would, but like if you feel like he's not ready and you're controversial, you think
Will they
don't
sub him
start
out though? What more do you need to see to sub him out? He was
Well, I think they're
handballing
gonna have
and
to wait.
stopping, limping. Like, if they're not going to sub him out for that, they're not going to sub him out.
True. Very true.
But
Good
you
new
don't know what
segment
was
though,
going
mate. I like
through.
it.
He could have said he was right. He could have thought he was right to get through. You don't know.
Exactly.
That's my call
All right.
anyway this
Thank
week.
you,
I'm
Tom.
leaving Dacos out next week.
All right, beautiful. Zoe's also
Big
put
call,
round
big call.
0, so I'm not sure what that was referring to. Was it referring to our calls? It was only round 0. Doesn't mean that much, especially when
I
only
said
team-
round one
team
by
games.
mistake.
Ah, yep.
Yep.
All right, Eggy's Road to Glory started off with a bit of a hiccup.
You were on Collingwood,
I was
weren't
on
you?
Collingwood,
Ooh.
so I didn't double up. So I'm doubling down. So I'm acting like I won, and I'm putting $40 in this week and going $20 on something different. But I'm not sure what to go yet. I'm leaning towards like a multi, like Carlton 25 plus or something into who's playing St Kilda, into Adelaide. But yeah. Once I
Yeah,
figure
get a
it
little multi
out,
going.
once the markets get up a bit more, and might even because it's $20, I might even have a look at the old bonus back bets as well. So I might put it on one of them. So
And we'll get that up on TikTok during the week when we know anyway. I'll get Eggy to post that up
All
so
right,
you can
we'll
follow
do.
along if you want.
Yep.
/Instagram.
So I'll be on TAB this week, but then hopefully from then on in there'll be sports bet. I've reached me deposit limits and sports bets, so
yeah.
so I have to
Beautiful.
transfer to TAB.
And our TikTok's been a
that's
little
funny.
inactive too because me and Tassie apparently can't use TikTok over here in Thailand.
Yes. Yep.
Does
Or
not
any
let you.
sporting app bets or gambling apps.
No gambling allowed over here. Even with the VPN, they will not let me on.
Oh, it's good. I should go overseas. I'll probably save money instead of wasting it.
Go to Thailand, mate.
All right. Well, yeah. Check back in later in the week to see what Eggy's tipped.
Tips are yes.
Okay, and then we've got it back. Viewers' questions.
Viewers'
So
questions.
I posted. I usually post the story, or we post the story roughly the day before the show. So keep an eye on all our socials. If you have a question that you want to submit, it does get posted. Now we've got 2 questions this week. First question, one of them is in chat, and that's from you, Mr. Artie, and he's got here: are the Pies a spent force?
Maybe.
Do you want me to take this one? Because I've been screaming it since the start of pre-season. They're too old. They're too slow. They're clearly not fit.
Well, those words are definitely ringing bells in my ears when I was watching the game yesterday. I was like, fuck, you might be right here. It's on the early grow, but fuck, has he hit one already?
They just looked old though, didn't they? They looked like they didn't have a pre-season. It was probably too hard for some of these boys to get a pre-season. We could be completely jumping the gun, and it could be just a once-off fluke. They didn't get their bodies right. They were worried about the hurricane and travelling.
Yeah, it was a hot
degrees.
game. Yeah, like it's been pretty cool in Melbourne up until the weekend. So yeah, it's a big change. But even
I think it's too early to call.
I think next weekend's still going to be warm too. So they might be up in a bit of trouble there. So see what happens.
I still think it's a bit early to call.
This is the same effort they bring into most. We could see a spoon here. Could see Richmond run over the top of them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't think we'll get that, but if they keep playing like this, we'll get worse and worse as the season goes on, because Turtle will be in that Hall of Fame dress I sent him.
This is true. Great question, Artie. Thank you for submitting, mate.
Thank you, Artie.
What about you? What do you think? We know you're in chat. What do you think?
I think he does think they're a spent force. I wouldn't have asked the question.
Ask the question,
I think so too.
And the problem is, though, they've got no one to replace their spent units with.
Nah.
They haven't even got draft picks.
No. I think I am really keen to see Harry DiMartia, but I don't know. I think he got a concussion in the preseason, and then wasn't able to play the proper preseason match. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm hoping he'll.
Ed Allen looked okay.
Yeah, Ed Allen looked okay too. He was all a bit.
Well, what's happening with Finn McRae? Like,
well, I don't know. He played.
I thought he was the next best thing. Yeah,
played a few games last year, but he wasn't that very impactful. So I don't think he's on top of the picking board.
Not breaking in yet.
Yeah, interesting. He's been on the list for a few years. So
yeah, he has. Yep.
All right. So next question from Carlton_Flaggers 2025. Oh, he's updated his name. We've got here Will Carlton's off-season mantra: speed and power work out.
You better take this one, Tassie.
Okay. So it has been a massive mantra from Vossi and the players about, they want to play with speed and power. They want to get back to their contested ball-winning ways, but also have speed on the ball. So just for those that haven't really been following along. I liked what I saw in the practice game, not the simulation against St Kilda. St Kilda took that completely away, but again, I don't think either team was really trying, Carlton and St Kilda. We'll see it this Thursday night. If it's going to work out,
we will see it against Richmond.
I was going to say, if it's going to work out, we should obliterate Richmond by 100 points. Realistically, Realistically, we should. If it's not, and it turns out that we are just going to be too aggressive and get counted against too much like we were last year, then that could be a concern. But with the addition of Nick Haynes down back, with Wiedering and McGovern, and now Jack Silvani potentially, we should be okay.
So we'll see this one, because if this is a close game, it's not working. If they get a close game against Richmond, they're going to have to mix it up a bit.
Yep. Thanks for the question, Carlton Flaggers. Hopefully that answers it for you.
Thank you, Flaggers.
Thank you.
And that's pretty much it for the show. But yeah, make sure you follow us.
That's the show. Yeah, I don't have the run sheet, so I was relying on you there, Reggie.
Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All the links at the end and below, and then I'll probably replay this on TikTok later as a TikTok live, and then you'll see all the links in our bio if you're watching on that. But yeah.
Well,
make sure you join that footy tip, and it's not too late. You're only 2 behind Max if you haven't. Plus, you can win the weekly jackpot.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
$40 this week is going off, so hopefully one of you will be able to pick it up with a big round of footy. But
And we might have to potentially, Todd and I might be missing from the show next week, but we've got a few people that we're going to contact to see if they might be able to fill in for us.
It
But we'll keep
depends
you
where we
posted.
are because I think we'll be on the way to Singapore. We're either on the way to Singapore or in the Singapore airport, so it might be a bit tough just to get Wi-Fi to connect.
Yeah, but we'll see how we go.
See how we go. Cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, we'll have a plan B in place if it doesn't work out.
Ready to go?
Definitely. But great show, boys. Loved
Great
it.
show.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll put your boys on the spot too. Make sure you share some of your trip around on the TNT social, so everyone else gets to live the holiday with you, or even the injuries with you if you happen to pick up a few injuries along the way.
What are you trying to get at?
We
Ian?
didn't.
Oh,
No,
no,
that's
just
just casual.
mentioning something.
I was trying to show us over there, but Tassie's missed a step when we were at clubbing. I've turned around, I couldn't find him. I had to walk 400 metres back to find him, and he's laying on the ground.
Yeah, then you had to carry him
Yeah.
back to the unit.
Had to
rolled
carry him
the
back to the
ankle.
hotel. He's been on crutches since. Big softy.
Well, the last time he rolled his ankle
Yeah.
was, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but we were having a kick down the footy field, and yeah, he was in a moon brit for a few weeks. That was for sure.
That was the same ankle too.
Oh,
So it's all right. I can put a bit of weight on it today.
Yep.
It's all right. I just get around really slow now and
Yep.
a lot more effort. So, but it'll be fine. The grounds over here are not very stable. Let me tell you that.
I know they're very up and down, but it's good. It's good country. Good to see a new country. Just spewing it during footy season. Next year we're not doing it during footy season.
Not at all. And when it's a bit cooler.
yeah. I don't think it is there. I think it's right on the equator, so it doesn't really see much of the season difference. I think, yeah.
No, probably not. Probably not. But excited for round one footy. Can't wait to watch Carlton play.
I might need a hand too.
Anything else from you two boys?
No, we'll just
No,
quickly
that's it.
on chat. Artie's also put free kick. Carlton will just miss the finals. George has got to see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your trip, Taz and Todd. Artie's also put have a great time. Love the show. Thank you.
Thanks,
Amazing,
guys.
guys.
Gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Zoe.
Show
Thanks,
wouldn't be
Artie,
anything
Brody,
without you guys.
and George for all stopping by, and thanks to anyone else that watches the show a bit later.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys and we love talking footy. We love chatting with you guys as well and glad that you tune in every week.
Yep, and make sure you send in those questions.
Definitely.
Zoe's also
definitely.
just quickly put by as well before we sign off.
See you, Zozo. Glad you hung around even after our St Kilda comment.
Yes,
After a bit of passion.
it was.
All right. Well, let's hope round one's an explosive round of footy.
That's it. See you
See
later.
you guys.